Aloha, guys! PieGuyRulz here, and welcome back to the recast. I am joined by, as always, MonstersReview, my Ohana.
Mahalo.
I'm also joined by knee-high cow tipper, Cosmodore.
Hawaiian word.
There you go. And we are here this week to talk about a little bit of news, a little bit of question, a little bit of Stitch in another country doing his Stitch thing.
Yeah, we're just stitching this all together.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing, Cosmo?
Ayo.
Haven't had you on in a while.
I'm doing great. I just came back from MomoCon. Still a bit jet lagged, but it was just fun meeting all the people I've been interacting with online, getting the chance to finally talk in person. Yeah, like 90% of everyone that was there is pretty much exactly the way you would imagine them being like from just watching their videos. So it was a bit of a surreal experience, especially with how many people were there.
Did you get recognized? Like, obviously on stage, but like when you were just kind of out and about.
Not even on stage.
Oh.
My friends weren't able to recognize me.
Well, let's be fair. There were a lot of on that one panel. There was like 20 of you guys.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, that was so much fun.
Wow.
Especially with like how many actually talented people were on stage and getting not just
the animation showcase. Yeah.
That ended up talking about it for like 2 minutes each.
I've always thought about the crossover between the fact that like we call ourselves the cartoon community and most of us are reviewers, but there's like actual artists and cartoonists that are actually within that as well.
And that's what also made it such a fun crossover with like us that are, I guess, more like affiliated with being writers. And
but we're enthusiasts or whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah, like
exactly. Yeah, it's totally legitimate, guys.
Yeah. People with opinions.
How are you guys doing?
I'm okay. How are you, monsters?
I'm doing good. Just chilling, having fun, recording the recast, like we do every week.
You say that like there's something else happening.
No, there's not. My life is boring, but I am working on a video that will be out this week. Ooh. This week, you guys are listening to this. There's not even like a maybe. It is 100% going to be out this week. 2 days. So this Friday, which will be 2 days from the date that this hopefully gets released, you guys will see a premiere on my channel. The Drake and Josh video is coming.
Yay!
But this isn't even a promise. This is just it's happening.
So what you're talking about is the Drake and Josh video. You're not saying that next week there is gonna be an update video on when the actual video is happening, and that's what
Yes.
you're premiering?
Yes, the video is coming, and if anything happens, it's because of Megan.
Are you gonna do a live stream in shame when it doesn't come out?
It's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened.
All right.
I'm gonna call you out, Monster. I can hold you on this.
I'll make a wager.
Okay.
Monsters, I'll edit this out if it doesn't happen.
No,
Okay.
don't.
All right, so yeah, before we hop on into what we watched in the past week, we have a few corrections to make for last week. Last week was a big episode, a lot of people talking at once, a lot of things happening. King Louie got brought up like 8 times.
Yeah, apparently.
I want to say that although I was not like a supporter of this, I was not as baffled and frustrated as the rest of you guys with King Louie. I was more upset about the music numbers. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw everyone that's not me under the bus. Because apparently Louie is a Gigantopithecus. Right. The idea is that orangutans don't exist in the jungles of India. Whoops. Because like Nikki or someone mentioned, King Louie was not in the original book about the Jungle Book.
Right.
So that was like a thing added for somewhat racist reasons. So they wanted to have an actual animal that like was realistically existed in India. The problem is that animal was extinct long before.
Yeah, it's been extinct for like a few 100,000 years. So the fact that there's just one that exists there, plus like I'm pretty sure archaeologists estimate that it was like a little bit shorter. Like it was bigger than your average orangutan, but it was like I'm pretty sure it was like 8 feet tall. which is not what King Louie was in that movie.
It's more realistic in the sense that it was an animal that did exist at some point in India.
Yeah.
But why? Like, that's not a good justification if you're gonna say it's for realism when that thing was already extinct. I don't know. Seems odd, but a lot of people pointed that out. Wanted to mention it. And then the next thing is just that Monsters and I and Shadow and Kuro and Nikki and like everyone that we've ever had on, we've all talked about Disney live action remakes and how we feel about them. I'm sure you don't need me and Monsters to tell you how we personally feel. You should know at this point. So we're going to do a light ban on talking about live action Disney reboots unless there's something worth talking about. Like this week, the Lion King posters came out, but it's like, if we talked about it, you're just gonna hear us be like, well, this is dumb, like it's realistic, but that's not interesting. It's not, we'd say the same thing we've been saying over and over again, and so we're gonna light ban it. So if a guest has something to say, the guest is very welcome to say it, but Monsters and I are gonna try to just kind of steer away from that because we don't want our opinion to be repetitive.
Right.
Oh, I'd be happy to never bring them up again, so don't worry about me.
Good. And of course we're not watching The Lion King, so we won't have anything to talk about with that.
Yeah.
At least not until episode 100. But it'll be on Disney Plus by then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course, Monsters, remind everyone what next week is?
Yes, next week is the livecast number 3. It's tentatively set for 8 p.m., and the date is Wednesday, June 12th. We'll be comparing the 1972 Lorax animated 2D TV special to the 2012 CGI Lorax movie.
Yep, and keep an eye out on your subscription feed or on my YouTube page. We'll have an event set up for it a few days before, so you'll know exactly what time we're going live. And should be a good time. I've never seen the Lorax movie.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I don't know if my opinion now will stack up to what it used to be.
Okay.
Have you seen the special, PieGuy?
The original short
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss made? Yes. It not recently. Like it's been a minute, but I have seen it. Yes.
Right. Because for me, for the longest time, it was the other way around. I've only seen the Illumination movie like twice, and wasn't even aware there was an original until like 2 years ago. So
it's relatively obscure. It's not like something that's just going to air one day on a network. You know, you got to like know it exists and look for it.
Yeah, right. It's no Grinch.
Yeah, I feel like I watched it in school.
Yeah, we didn't get to watch it in school. The Illumination one would have been something we would have wanted to watch in school, but didn't get to.
So speaking of things that you wanted to watch, Cosmo, have you seen anything interesting in the past week?
Actually, a bunch of Disney remakes because.
Oh no.
Yeah. Listen, I was on a lot of planes and didn't have anything to do. They didn't have any interesting in-flight program except for Mary Poppins Returns. So I saw that. And Christopher Robin. I saw, what else did I watch?
I forgot Christopher Robin happened too.
I know.
God, there's so many of these things. It's so hard to keep track of them.
Listen, Christopher Robin was. It might have been the worst of all these. Like,
really? It looked cute and inoffensive, but also
exactly.
I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was hoping for. That it would be like at least inoffensive, somewhat charming. But it was like disgustingly boring. Nothing happened in this movie.
That's unfortunate.
That's the worst kind of bad. In that you don't even get any enjoyment in ripping on it. It's just boring. So yeah, I saw that. Working on a bunch of new videos that I have to do research for.
Nice.
Did
Nintendo show you Johnny Test like on DVD live in MomoCon?
No, we didn't get to
Aww.
it. Yeah, it sucked. Like we wanted to do a live panel where we would have had the chance to discuss Johnny Test in great detail, almost excruciating detail.
Almost.
But like 10 MomoCon employees just bursted through the door and were like, hold your hands up. We can't let this have anything but Johnny Test.
Mr. Black and Mr. White rushed in.
I might be on some blacklist now. I'm not sure.
I've heard Johnny Test DVDs are biohazards. I don't know how Nick got it on a plane.
Yeah, I don't know how he was allowed to even have that in the nearby vicinity. It was really nice. He gave all of us a Johnny Test DVD, like all all the seasons except for 6, I think. How many are there? There's 6 seasons, right?
Yeah, it's missing the last season. I think it's like 7.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to like make any piece of evidence about that ever existing vanish. It's like pretend it never even happened, which like I can understand. I didn't get one, so he's a good friend. Oh. He's a good friend.
Did you say you did or didn't?
I didn't get a copy because I wouldn't.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I probably would have given it to someone else anyway. So thanks, Nick. He gave me a holder poster, which was really nice.
Aw.
Yeah.
What'd you just come back from?
What?
What'd you just see?
Oh, right. I did see.
Uh-oh. Don't say Aladdin, please.
Here it comes. I just came back from watching Detective Pikachu.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. You're Cosmodore. Right. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Right. I forgot who you were for a second. No, I forgot you made those very fun tweets.
I will hold back on my opinion on this movie.
No, you could say it. Say it. I spoke about it a few weeks ago, and although I like the spectacle of the film, I agree. The writing is not very good, and it's not a movie I really want to go see again, ever.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it, pretty much. I won't spoil anything, but there were some major plot contrivances in this movie.
You know, let's spoil it now, because the movie's been out for like a month and a half, and I talked about it, no spoilers, and I do kind of want to talk about it a little bit. So let's go ahead. Spoilers for Detective Pikachu. Right. Skip to the news section if you want to avoid them, and whatever Monsters has to talk about.
Yes.
All right, sure. So the twist was. I forgot I'm not allowed to swear here.
You got yourself. You caught it.
Yep. Can
I guess the twist?
The twist was embarrassingly dumb.
The twist was, wait for it, far-fetched.
Isn't the twist that I think someone told me that Detective Pikachu is the main character's dad. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. It's dumb.
What kind of twist is that?
I know, right? It is dumb. They never established it. There was no foreshadowing except for maybe Pikachu went, "Who's your daddy?" like once, and I missed it.
Right. Well,
like a blankety miss it moment.
It makes a lot of like the kind of raunchy-esque dialogue a little like weird now. Weirder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there was a joke about Pikachu sticking a finger up his butt or someone else.
I don't remember that.
That was kind of weird. Yeah. They would stick my finger in me.
Oh.
It made me really uncomfortable.
Hey, Cosmo, you know what? One of the things that I really didn't like, and I guess since I can spoil it, I could talk about it. Like, what was the point of having Pikachu as like a main character if the Pikachu can't use his powers for like most of the movie?
Right. Yeah.
Like he's just like a short human, basically.
Yeah. I think what they did is they wrote themselves into a corner because it was based on the game where Pikachu never uses his powers, and they wanted to be as accurate to that as possible while also telling a compelling story. They failed at both. Also because like there were so few Pokemon. Like they established this. The first shot was essentially ripped straight from Zootopia, and like having this be a Pokemon City. There are all these monsters flying around. I think we saw a total of 10. Like actually in action, which I'm not a big fan of the designs.
Really?
Already.
See, I disagree with you there, but continue.
That's fair. I just don't like the way. I would have preferred it to be. I never wanted them to transition into live action. I think is my biggest issue with it. Would have preferred them to just like sustain that cartoony aesthetic. Like we saw the credits and what they would have looked like in the anime. Like Bill Nighy, which he was the villain.
Bill Nye, the science guy?
Yeah. Bill Nighy, the science guy. Him being the villain was, you saw that coming.
Yeah.
So that was another dumb twist. And there was like a second in the credits where you saw him, what he would have looked like in a Detective Pikachu anime, and he looked exactly like that one gym leader from Generation 2. I forgot his name. I haven't played Gen 2 in a while, so...
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too.
But no, he was just a bland villain. You saw... there was so
But what about
much.
Ditto? Ditto was cool. Ditto was really cool.
Ditto was fine, I guess. They should have built up to him more. Yeah, just like, oh, you're a Ditto. Whoa, that's. It was also during one of the most like action-packed moments, which there weren't a lot of, and it kind of took away from the tension there.
I wanted more battling.
Me too. More battling, more mystery.
Something else that kind of bugged me was like the whole idea of Rhyme City is that you have like one Pokemon, like, and that's your partner. And that's cool, right? Because feasibly, like having like 6 Pokemon on you, like you're not going to get to show them off and like have them have personalities. So from a movie, like a storytelling perspective, having like each person has one Pokemon and that Pokemon has a personality, like that's cool. But like, why did the reporter girl have a Psyduck?
Yeah.
What use is Psyduck in what she does and what she wants to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have a Charmander if you're cooking stir fry because you can use its tail to cook. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Psyduck, headaches.
It just makes so many Pokemon in this world useless. Like, you wouldn't choose an Eevee as a partner. It doesn't serve any purpose. So you would obviously choose the stronger or like actually evolved Pokemon. Why didn't she have the what's Psyduck's evolution again?
Golduck.
Yeah,
Golduck would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, how about a stealthy Pokemon? I think like a ghost type that could like go invisible or go like get places that she can't get to get parts of the story.
Right.
Like, that would be cool. Heck, even a Mr. Mime or something. I don't know.
She was just an underdeveloped character overall. Like, she didn't really serve any purpose to the plot other than like being barely a love interest. Nothing really happened.
But nothing about the spectacle, like, you weren't interested at all because you didn't like the designs and...
No.
Okay.
No, none of it. And thing is, the movie's already doing well, so we're probably gonna see a sequel, if not like more spin-off movies looking exactly like it. That's what I was afraid of. That's why I didn't want to see it in theaters. Because like the better it does, the more we're gonna get. And this was like a nostalgia pandering Pokemon film, like purely dedicated to making as much money from the merch as possible. And that's what's happening. So we're gonna see more companies trying to emulate it. We're already getting Sonic. Who's to tell when the Joe and Mac movie is happening?
Well, we're getting Mario too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Mario movie. I keep forgetting about the Mario movie.
Yep. All right, well, send your hate mail at Cosmodore on Twitter.
Yep, feel free to. I already got enough. I muted the thread.
Oh, no, I'm only kidding. Please just respect Cosmo's opinion.
Oh, thank you.
You're a good guy, and you came on a little strong initially, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with having the opinion you have.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Going into this film, I knew that I wouldn't like the designs, and that's like my sole reason for not wanting to watch it, but I didn't want to ruin it for anyone else, so I'm sorry about that.
Oh, come on. You can't ruin a movie like just by having an opinion that you don't like it. Anyone that is their opinion and their perspective is fragile enough that like one guy on the internet stating their opinion is just like completely shatters your opinion. Like, I don't know, man, grow up. Like, have a stronger opinion, or maybe you didn't actually love that thing. Like, maybe some of the people were upset at you because they agreed with you but didn't want to. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I am a Pokemon fan. I used to be for the longest time. I kind of fell off of it, but like up to season 4, Generation 4, I used to be a big Pokemon fan. So yeah, my opinion is as valid as any others. Yours is too. Just be nice.
Yep. All right. Monsters, what do you got for us this week?
I got some weird stuff in the bag today.
Oh, yeah, as usual.
Yeah, so I hopped on Netflix and I watched some kids' Jeopardy.
What?
Because, I mean, despite what you guys have seen from my trivia performance on the recast, I don't know, I'm a bit of a trivia junkie. I like, guessing games and pop culture references and that sort of stuff. And I wanted to see, compared to adult Jeopardy, how easy kids' Jeopardy was, because for me, at least, adult Jeopardy is super hard, and not easy. You have to be an actual genius to be able to or just like obsessive to really do well at that game.
Or get lucky with the categories, because like,
or get lucky.
Like a category will come on and it'll be like adult cartoons. And
Yeah.
for us, I mean, it's like,
So yeah, I watched it and it was super easy. Like if I was a kid and I had the brain that I do now, I would have done very well. I didn't get everything right, but like, you know, some of them were just easy, like categories, words that start with B, or child actors and things like that.
I think you need to frame it. Tell us how old the kids on Kids Jeopardy are.
I think they're tweens, so anywhere from like, I don't know, 9 years old to, I don't know, 13.
You just reminded me that we have to watch a Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader Nickelodeon version that's coming out soon.
Oh yeah, June 10th. I think that's when it premieres.
Ah, crumbs.
Fantastic. So yeah, that was cool.
Okay.
But still makes me doubt my knowledge. And then the thing is too, the kid that won, I think the way that they do the prize systems for Kids Jeopardy is that the third place winner gets like $1,000, even if they're in the negative, I think. The second place winner gets $2,000, and then the first place winner gets however much they actually won. And I'm pretty sure the dude who got first won like $40,000, and he was like a super little kid. Can you just imagine winning $40,000? Yeah, crazy.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
I know. So I watched that. I also was browsing on YouTube, and there was like this 90-minute documentary on home improvement that got put in my recommended feed.
Whoa.
You know, like Home Improvement, the 90s sitcom starring Tim Allen as Tim the Toolman Taylor. So I watched all of it.
How much did you grunt like a man?
It was very like, have you ever seen Behind the Music on VH1?
Yes.
Like it's super, because I'm pretty sure it came out in like 2005 or 2006.
Oh,
so,
did it talk? Oh,
what?
Did it talk about Tim Allen's drug use?
Yes, a lot.
Did it talk about how much Tim Allen hated the one kid?
Yes.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, it actually did. Yeah, they talked about everything from like Tim Allen's beginnings to his run-ins with the law, DUIs,
to infinity and beyond.
I clearly don't know enough about Tim Allen.
Yeah, they did talk about the first and second Toy Story. They referenced the fact that he didn't like Jonathan
Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, because he left the show to go do acting, and he didn't come back.
Wasn't Jonathan Taylor Thomas in a Disney movie?
Yeah, he was the voice of young Simba in The Lion King.
Oh, yeah, that little movie, right?
Yeah. That little movie that wasn't supposed to be a big success, but was.
Did you know that Steve from Full House is Aladdin?
Oh, what?
DJ Tanner's boyfriend. And then they make reference to this in the... Okay, never mind. Sitcom trivia. Listen. When I was younger, I was really obsessed with sitcoms. And it's a part of me that I hate now, because sitcoms are the worst. Well, like 4 camera sitcoms anyway, like bad sitcoms.
Big Bang Theory.
Full House.
I disagree.
Oh God! Oh right, you like Full. Oh my God! Well, listen. When we get to that'll be a recast 50. Full House and Fuller House.
I was one of those kids that woke up at 3 a.m. watching George Lopez on Nick at Night.
I watched that too. Looking back, that is also not a great show.
I think Netflix recently put Fuller House onto my home feed and was like, "Hey, you watched Arrested Development. Don't you want to watch some Fuller House?"
My soul!
Those are 2 very different shows.
They really are.
They?
I don't know, okay. I don't know how that happened.
They were both brought back by Netflix. That's the only thing those shows have in common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's probably why, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, their worst seasons each. Well, season 5 was fine.
Monsters, was this just like on YouTube, or was this like some YouTuber did this?
No, it was on YouTube. I'm pretty sure the name of the show was like True Hollywood Story. Someone must have ripped it from cable or something and uploaded it to YouTube. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, to a show that I always remembered watching as something being like fairly inoffensive, it's kind of crazy how much behind the scenes trouble there was and that sort of stuff. So yeah, especially in the 90s. So it was cool.
Was there any drama about Wilson? I forget the guy who played him. He was the neighbor who you never see his full face.
Oh, the one who's
time.
behind the fence.
Yeah.
No, there was a guy who was going to play him originally, and but then he figured out that like the role was like half of his face being covered, and he turned it down. And then they got I don't remember his name. It's Earl something. And
James Earl Jones, famous for not having his face shown,
and also Lion King. Yeah. So that guy, he became the, Earl. But he tragically died a little bit after the show ended.
Oh,
he was a smoker.
No.
He had lung cancer.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Monsters. That's insightful.
Thank you.
Okay, so I saw Tuca and Birdie. People were wanting me to see this because I'm a huge BoJack fan. And Tuca and Birdie is made by one of the writers on BoJack, and also, like, I believe some of the other people from BoJack.
Production designer.
Right, the creator of BoJack at least guest starred as, some vocal recurring role. I don't know who he was. I think Raphael is his name, I think. But, I finally saw Tuca and Birdie, and man, is this a cartoon. It's very strange. It's, it's basically like the designs are very BoJack, and in such a way that you could like theoretically cross over these shows. I don't know if they should or want to, but they could. At least in marketing materials, they probably will at some point. But it looks like BoJack, and the subject matter tackled, themes of self-doubt and not being good enough, and introspection, and serious adult issues. They're in here, they're all over it. Same sorts of subject matter, not the exact same issues, but same sort of subject matter that you'd expect from BoJack. However, this show is a cartoon, and like a cartoon, not a cartoon, but a cartoon. And what I mean by that is just that it is like zany to the max. It's the kind of show that will have a character jump and their skeleton will fall out of them. It's the kind of show where their arms will turn into like rubber and they'll flail them around. It's the kind of show where like the subway systems on the show are these giant like eel things, living eels that are moving. Like there's a lake that's made of peanut butter and jelly. It's a weird show. If you like cartoons that are like off the wall, and really we don't have. Like, there's not that many of these in the adult cartoon space. You know what I mean? Like, you have Family Guy, but Family Guy is like, it's only weird when it wants to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they'll do a cutaway and then they'll do a specific thing. Whereas Tuca and Birdie, it's like every minute they're like, here's a section in stop motion, and here's, a character dancing with his pants as the transition from one scene to the next. Don't say anything about Planet Sheen monsters, please. Or Cosmo. No. Neither of you. No, but it's weird. And the first episode had that cranked up to like 11, to the point where I kind of thought the first episode was obnoxious. I was actually going to talk about this last week when I'd only seen the first 2 episodes, and I was going to be pretty down on the show. But after having watched all 10 episodes in the season, I could say that it grew on me a lot. I still much prefer BoJack. I think BoJack's style of comedy resonates a lot more with me. I like zany comedy, but I also like more clever wordplay and the sort of thing that BoJack does. But Tuca and Birdie has a lot of that fun. If you find something like BoJack too dry, or other adult animated shows like Archer or whatever a little too dry or not like interesting enough, Tuca and Birdie is a great alternative to that. So yeah, we will be talking about it at some point in the near future on as the focus of a recast. But I did want to mention it. If you were like me and you saw the promo, and the promo made the show look really, really just like dumb and insane, and just like there's no point to anything, that's not what the show is. The show has crazy visuals and gags and stuff like that, but at its core, it is a show about 2 people with deep issues. Tuca is the toucan, and she quit drinking like 6 months ago. She's like a partier and a crazy person. She doesn't have a job, and she's living off her aunt. But tragically, bad things happen in her past that kind of explain why she's like that. And the show kind of like has her grow a little bit over the season and become introspective. And Birdie is a lot more like uptight, and she's in a relationship with her boyfriend, but there's a guy that she like an inappropriate guy that she kind of likes, and there's a problem with that, and she has to deal with that, and deal with being so uptight and responsible all the time, even though, you know, she has these desires that aren't responsible. So give it a watch if you're interested. It's only 10 episodes. It's on Netflix. And if you're interested at all in BoJack or adult animation, I think it's an easy watch. Definitely stick through it at least until episode 3, if the first 2 didn't do it for you.
Yeah. One thing I will say is don't go in it expecting something like BoJack, because like
did you watch it? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Okay.
Episode,
yeah, what'd you think?
Episode 9, am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Episode 9. Well, we'll talk about that one at some point.
All right, cool.
There's a BoJack episode that's anyway. Continue.
Yeah, that's like there are some beats it hits that reminded me of something BoJack might have done, but like you said, it's way more zany in its delivery.
Oh yeah.
Like the rules of this world aren't as set as in BoJack. Like it couldn't be translated into a live action series or something like that. I felt like
BoJack, I would say, I mean, BoJack definitely has cartoony elements, absolutely. But BoJack at its core, it's an animated sitcom, is really what it is. With some cartoony elements, this is a cartoon.
It is. Sometimes I felt like it was too adult. Like it very well would have worked as a kids show as well. But then again, it touched on some more adult themes too.
That's what episode 1 kind of got me, because there's nudity and stuff, and I'm not one that's generally weird about nudity, but it's like I don't really need to see like plant nudity and animal nudity. Like it's not, I don't know, that put me off, but it's only in like small spurts through the rest of the season. I think episode 1 really came at it and is kind of almost a different kind of show than it develops to be.
Yeah, it was going on strong. Like it went in hard with like making sure you got what like type of show it's gonna be. This is adult. That's kind of, even at the theme song, it's kind of screaming in your face. This is not like your average kids show. Which like you wouldn't get just looking at the visuals.
Yeah, well, one of the first things in the intro is bouncing boobs at a building. That's
isn't that like the first shot?
It might be. It's the first or second shot. So it's like, I don't know. It's gratuitous and weird at times, but I think it settles into something that kind of knows when to go for that a little wiser towards the end of the season. And I mean, The other thing, tell me if you had this experience. The last episode, without saying anything about it, it very much felt like it went out on like a whisper. Like it was not like a gut punch or like a, ooh, what's going to happen next season? It's like a character's like, I kind of want to do this thing. And like, that's how it ends. And it's like, what?
It didn't feel like a last episode. It felt like it could have been episode 10 out of 11. Like, it wasn't that it was missing anything, but it didn't feel like a completed season. It feels like it wants to be more slice of life than BoJack is. Where each season seems to have something groundbreaking it's building up to, like, what's going to happen this season? Like, how are they going to get out of this situation? It's just, life happens. Just let it happen. Like, I binged the whole show in a day, just laying in bed, doing nothing but...
2 days.
Yeah. Or 2...
I did 2 days.
Okay. Yeah. I just let it happen. It was a pleasant experience. It was like nowhere near the same level as BoJack to me personally, but it's worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, I feel similarly, and not just like BoJack now, because obviously saying like this season 1 of a show is nothing like the season 5 or 6 of BoJack that's had time to develop.
Oh no,
obviously that's a different comparison. But I personally also think that I enjoy season 1 of BoJack more than I enjoyed season 1 of Tuca and Birdie. I still enjoyed it, but I don't know. I think, just to me anyway, the characters of Tuca and Birdie aren't as compelling or relatable as the characters on BoJack. Not to say that I'm like anything like BoJack, but some of his like self-doubt and flaws and obviously not the horrible stuff, but some of that stuff, I think it really resonates. The depression anyway really resonates. Being like a wild party girl doesn't resonate with me personally. That's not a slam on the show. It's just me personally. I relate to that. I relate to Princess Carolyn, and Mr. Peanut Butter. I didn't quite relate to Tuca or Birdie that much.
Yeah, at multiple points in the show, I was like, "Oh, this is not meant for me. I'm not the target demographic here."
Right, and we aren't. I think it definitely does have a more. It's trying to have a little more female bent. Not to say that men can't enjoy it, but yeah, that's why I don't begrudge it for me not necessarily clicking with these characters as much, because, you know, it deals with some issues that are pretty much exclusive to women.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so there you go. Kids Jeopardy.
Yep.
Okay. So moving right along onto news. Wait, I got this. Moving onward.
Hey. Heyo.
Okay. Pixar has a new film that they're trailering. They call this a teaser trailer, which is odd because it's like a minute and a half, but okay.
Welcome to Shrek 7.
Pretty much.
Shrek Cinematic Universe gonna have that big cross. Welcome to the Shrekiverse. This is one of the Shreks.
That's all it is. It's a leap of Shrek.
I mean, the thing is, I feel relatively neutral about this trailer. Like, I did a hot take calling it Shrek, or whatever. But like, realistically, all we have to go on, all this trailer gives us is just like the setting. Like, it's a mix of medieval and like modern, and that's it. And hey, it looks nice, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like something like, oh, okay, I'm not definitely saying no to seeing that movie. I'm not definitely saying yes. That's basically all I got. How about you guys?
If you hadn't slapped the Pixar logo right on top, I wouldn't have been able to tell what company it was from. It looks very much like a DreamWorks and or Sony movie, which doesn't have to be a bad thing anymore. But yeah, like, it was just, it seems like a fun road trip story, with not the most unique settings, which doesn't make me particularly excited for it, in that, like, I know it's gonna be a fun film, some good comedy, like the jokes in that trailer made me laugh, and I felt like the setting was nice. The logo was the exact same as Frozen's. Those are just my overall thoughts. I don't want to be like too excessive in my thoughts on it, because I feel like we've only seen so much.
Right.
They've only established the setting so far. I wasn't all that excited for Coco when we first got a first look at it. And I ended up loving that film. So, yeah. I could end up loving it. It all depends on the characters, as with any Pixar film.
How about you, Monsters?
Well, the tables are turned here, clearly, because instead of DreamWorks making fun of Disney, Disney's gonna make fun of themselves. Hey!
Are we gonna can we get a recast on Onward and Shrek 5? Oh, please. I hope Shrek 5 actually happens.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Aren't we getting a Shrek origin story or something?
In origin?
What?
Didn't we already have? Oh no, we were gonna get like a Shrek reboot or something.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Listen, there's no way on this green planet that we aren't gonna get some sort of Shrek sequel at some point in the next like 30 years.
There's no way.
It'll happen at some point. You know what I mean?
But it was on the poster. It was meant to be the last one.
Yeah, the final chapter.
It's not ogre till it's ogre.
The Shrekalogue.
Oh no.
Shrek, the new ogre generation.
Oh, great. Now you put that in my head. Now I'm fairly certain that's what they're gonna call it. The Shrekalogue.
Shrekalogue. Oh god.
Yeah. I gotta say, I haven't been too big of a fan of whatever Pixar's been doing recently. I haven't seen Coco, but
Coco's good.
Yeah, Coco's great.
Everything else I really haven't seen. I'm not a big fan of their films starring people, or at least that revolve around things that resemble people. I don't know. I'm a bit more of a purist in that I like when they have like animals or inanimate objects as their protagonists.
They haven't done that in ages. Like a new one. I mean, we're getting Toy Story 4, obviously,
what
but
about
like
Incredibles 2?
That's people.
Yeah. Oh, that's what he meant. Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah. Because Incredibles 2, Coco,
Inside Out, kinda.
Yeah. But even that's like what, 3 years old now?
Yeah, it's 4 years old.
A few years old. Yeah.
I don't know. And plus a bunch of, I totally agree with your point on, like, it doesn't really look like a distinctly Pixar movie. And that could be a good or bad thing. I don't know. There were some people on Twitter that were saying that the dude in the van looks like a character from Frozen. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, the main character looks like Linguini from Ratatouille.
Oh, that's true. Oh no. I want like a big dumb Pixar crossover movie. I don't know if I really want this, but I feel like it would be
Wreck-It Ralph 2?
No.
That's a Disney crossover.
Oh
Yeah.
crap! That could happen.
Wreck-It Ralph 2 happened. That's like the main thing I'm concerned with. That
Are
for
we
the
sure
longest
it
time,
happened?
I kind of forgot Wreck-It Ralph 2 happened.
Yeah. That. All right. That's about all there is to say. I personally would have liked I thought like maybe a shorter, more like actually teaser trailer would have been more impactful and interesting rather than like, let's have a long trailer that kind of shows off the setting but doesn't really talk much about the story. I would have liked just like some sort, like the Forky trailer in Toy Story 4. I love that trailer because it's just like, what is this? Like, what am I watching? That's the feeling I want from a teaser. Like, what's happening?
Or even just the Frozen teaser. The Frozen 2 teaser.
Oh god, that's the one that looks beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That got me so pumped for the film. Like, I was already excited for it, but I couldn't wait to watch Frozen 2. And it's only a few more months, so...
I might actually watch Frozen 2, even though I've never seen and don't care about Frozen 1,
Whoa.
just for the visuals.
Oh, I adore Frozen 1. I'm not sure if I'm in the minority in my age group, at least. But no, I really like Frozen 1, so... Considering I really like autumn settings in films already, it's bound to look stunning. Not sure about the plot. That was like my main gripe with the first one. But yeah, I'm still more excited for Frozen 2 than Onward, for example, is all I'm saying. Like, I'm glad it's an original story, but sometimes sequels can be entertaining just as much. And original stories from Pixar don't have to be good anymore. Like,
whoa!
Well, I mean... Is that a hot take?
A little bit, but I don't.
How about
necessarily
The
disagree.
Good Dinosaur and Cars?
Hey, The Good Dinosaur was a fine film. It was.
The Good Dinosaur was a great Lion King ripoff.
Would you rather watch The Good Dinosaur or Boss Baby?
Boss Baby.
Or Disney's, like, 2001 Dinosaurs movie that's also CGI.
Yeah,
right.
Dinosaur was better.
You made a video about that, right, Cosmo?
I did, yeah. So I gotta stay
What are you,
true
his
to
agent?
myself.
I used to like that movie.
Oh,
Alright,
I still do. Anyway.
Can we move along, please?
Sure.
We Bare Bears is a show I haven't thought about in like 3 years. But it's getting a movie and a spin-off. A
Yay.
TV movie.
Yay.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
That's good. I don't have anything cynical or negative to say. I'm not that into We Bare Bears that I really would care. But it's a perfectly fine, cute show that I think, you know, very, very, very inoffensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised as to what I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with it, because we already have seen an origin story from them. So the plot so far sounds kind of generic.
The movie?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Okay, so from what I've seen, it's basically just they encounter an evil foe in a competition they need to like win in order for them to stay friends, but it turns out they have competing or like differing interests, and oh no, it's gonna be a battle between the bears.
I hope the rival's Bo Burnham again.
Oh.
There's Bo Burnham plays a character on that show, and it's pretty great, to be
is it?
honest. Yeah.
Which character?
Have you never
is that?
seen? He's like the jerky Justin Bieber guy.
Oh yeah, I've not seen too much We Bare Bears recently. I've only seen the episodes where they're turned into babies, which I really enjoyed. But he wasn't in those.
I don't.
Yeah.
He might have just been a one-off. I don't know, but he was pretty great. I forget what the character's name was. It was something like Philly D or something.
Oh,
Philip DeFranco?
sup, you beautiful bears.
All right. Cool. Great. Okay. On to something with a little more substance. Blues Clues and You. We got a little clip of the reboot.
Why don't they just call it Blue's Clues again?
No. You know what? I'm happy that they changed the title because it makes it easier to find information about it.
That's true.
I guess for someone in our position.
Not just our position, but like a parent. Let's say a parent wants to know about the show a little more, and they type in, what are they going to do? Type in Blue's Clues? Like, I'm just saying, it makes things a lot easier. Why would you want it to have the same title?
I don't know, because it's easier to say 2 syllables than it is to say 4.
Wow. Okay, MonstersReview.
Wow. Oh yeah, that is 4 syllables.
Yeah, that is 4.
That's like more like 3 syllables. Blues Clues new, you know. Kind of rolls off the tongue nicely.
Right. The third word is N and then YU. Blues Clues new?
New.
Well, if you say it fast, it's kind of like you're saying new Blues Clues new.
Oh yeah, the new Blues Clues new.
Personally, I think you have to be a real cynical, horrible person. No, sorry, excuse me, not horrible person. You have to be a real cynical person to like look at this clip and be like, oh, they ruined Blue's Clues. Because like, in my opinion, Blue's Clues, the point of Blue's Clues is to just educate young children. And so like the story doesn't matter. Like, people were upset like, ooh, did Joe give up Blue? And it's like, who cares? Why would you care about that? Like, is that not like a stupid thing to care about? I'm sorry if I'm probably going to be like offending someone, but I just find that to be like really weird to complain about.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's also because
this looks cute. It looks cute.
Yeah, it's a kids show. You don't have the right to complain about it.
It doesn't look like they messed up the formula. Like, honestly, if the host was like really like bad at delivering lines or like unfriendly seeming or whatever, like, okay, that's a criticism that would make sense, but that's not. This guy looks great.
This guy seems cool.
Yeah. He looks like a very welcoming host. He seems to have that like adult child thing that Joe and Steve were going for. The animation on Blue looks pretty good. Like, yeah, I don't see a possible thing that could be upsetting about
the other characters
this
look
news.
good too.
Yeah.
Basically, the girl version of Blue, I think, is a part of the cast too, which,
Periwinkle, I want to say?
Violet, I don't know. Whatever her name
Periwinkle,
is.
same thing.
Purple.
Purple.
Yeah, whatever her name is. I guess it's cool now, for children that I guess they have, like, young girls. I don't know, because the show is kind of male-heavy. Wait, is Blue a girl or a guy? He's a guy, right?
Blue's a girl.
Wait, so there's 2 girls. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought I just figured out that Blue was a girl.
You really shouldn't assume things based on the way people look.
You're right. Blue is traditionally a guy's color. I don't know.
Whoa! Well, actually, historically speaking, in olden times, blue was actually a feminine color, and red was the masculine color, like the color of blood and war. But somehow that got flipped around.
That is true.
Cosmo knows about this. You're up on this.
Of course I do. Yeah, I can back you up on that.
As an orange person, you understand.
Right, yeah.
Am I allowed to say that? Can I?
You're allowed to, yeah.
Okay,
I give you the O-word pass.
Okay. The O-word.
As Sid the Science Kid.
Oh, God. So in other news, the 6th Titan was revealed.
Yay.
It's Bumblebee. Do.
Yay.
Is she down with the Titans? Oh, the yes, indeed. I'm disappointed. I wanted it to be a dumb troll. I'll be honest. Teen Titans. I get enjoyment out of Teen Titans by hearing just how ridiculous and stupid the show is, like secondhand on Twitter. That's my enjoyment out of the show. I wanted it to be stupid and weird.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a second Beast Boy.
Yeah. Beast Boy's tail, like
Beast Boy's mom.
Yeah. Or like that episode of South Park where Cartman has Jennifer Lopez on his hand.
Oh yeah, Ben Affleck, yeah.
Yeah, it's Bumblebee, but it's really just like Robin's gloved hand, like, hey, it's me, Bumblebee.
I mean, they have all these current Cartoon Network shows. Why didn't they just introduce like KO to the show just for one episode?
Okay, hey, don't joke. OKKO would do something like that.
Yeah, it would. They already did that Mighty Magiswords crossover.
Well, they did literally cross over with Teen Titans. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, right.
Crossover Nexus, yeah.
In the Night of Raven,
Night of Raven.
that Raven themed episode.
Oh god, I gotta watch more TV.
You don't. But yeah, no. It's Bumblebee, and she's gonna be with the Titans all summer long. So they're playing it pretty straight. I don't know. Did the Teen Titans do they need a change in roster? Like, is that? I never thought that they like ever felt constrained by the characters they chose because they changed them based upon whatever fits the story.
Yeah.
If Raven has to be happy and sunshiny, then it's fine. Like, they don't care. So I don't understand the point of this, but ratings grab, like,
You know the show is nearing its end when they start to shake things up.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
I mean, it's based on the original show,
Yeah, that's true.
as is everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Gumball ended.
Well, is going to.
Oh, I thought you said it aired on TV, on internet.
The episode is out, but it hasn't aired on TV yet.
So it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Right. Oh my god.
Thanks for that clarification.
That was a crap storm on Twitter. Like, whenever it was announced what the last episode is gonna be from people who've already seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
They were not happy.
Apparently it's a cliffhanger.
I can hear Alpha J crying in the distance. He really likes Gumball. Hey, Monsters, remember when we talked about Gumball potentially ending?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was like 2
I read
years
up
ago.
on it, and because the creator Ben, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Burke?
Bokale, yeah, whatever. He said that that the last season was going to be season 6, and then he clarified saying the last season he was going to work on was season 6. And season 6 apparently lasted a long time, so this is the last episode of season 6, also the last episode of the series. And he also recently just made a tweet saying, "I didn't want it to end this way. This is just kind of how we had to. But if we make a Gumball movie, then things will end in a better way." So,
Yeah, they'll get to it right after that Adventure Time movie. No, scathing. No, but they seem to be back on the TV movie kick with the Steven Universe movie, the We Bare Bears movie.
regular show happened a couple years ago.
I don't think anyone expected a We Bare Bears movie, so who knows what's gonna happen.
But apparently We Bare Bears is big in the East. That's what I hear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's big in Korea.
Right, it has a lot of because I believe the creators,
Singaporean and Chinese.
and it has a lot of like themes of being an Easterner coming to the West, and subtly. That was the K-pop episode.
Yeah, there was pretty recently. And I would assume Gumball is somewhat big in Europe as well, considering the show's
yeah.
made there.
Right.
Either way, I'm surprised Ben is being so direct with it on Twitter. Like, I don't want it to end this way. Please don't be mad at me.
Well, it's unfortunate because I think if you remove Teen Titans Go from the equation, well, you don't even have to do that. If you're looking at just Cartoon Network originals, Gumball is like the mascot show now, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's been on for like the longest
Right.
of the currently running shows. Again, Teen Titans Go not withheld or not included.
The longest running
And-
original show, I guess.
Right. And
Yeah.
to the people who don't like Teen Titans Go, then Gumball is like the mascot show of the network. So it is unfortunate that if he wasn't able to end it on his own terms. But what confuses me then is if Monsters, if what you're saying is true, that this was the last season that he was going to work on, why would he end it on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, what happened behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's odd.
I have no idea.
We can't even say the production got like cut in half because the season has been airing for like 20 years.
From the looks of it, I think he wants to have a movie to end it. Kind of like
Okay.
in an Ed, and Eddie's Big Picture Show type of way. Even
Yeah.
though that's like Ed and Eddie didn't really have any continuity. I don't know if Gumball does.
It does, like continuity.
Very light.
Hey, his girlfriend like metamorphosizes or something. I haven't seen the episodes. I don't understand what the deal is, but it happened.
Look, there's maybe 4 instances of actual continuity, and it's only this episode happened. We're gonna acknowledge it, but we're not gonna build
Right.
up on it.
Also, the time when they acknowledged that Gumball got a voice change.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Does that count as continuity? Like that there was there was no way to avoid it happening or like reference it happening.
I don't know. But yeah, that's weird, but it's really not that unexpected considering we have like Mao Mao and Infinity Train and like all these other shows coming up. Like obviously some things have to get cut loose.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And hey, cliffhanger aside, from what I hear from a lot of fans of the show, they seem to like still enjoy the show, and it's I think 6 seasons and it never declined, or it didn't decline too badly. I think that's a really solid run. So I'm hoping, and I like Gumball of what I've seen of it, but I'm really hoping that they do get a TV movie or even just like one episode or something just to give the conclusion. And I think Cartoon Network's a little more flexible these days and willing to do something like that.
Yeah. I've seen all of Gumball save for the most recent episodes. Like I've seen seasons 1 through 5 and some select episodes from season 6. And then again, season 6 is very long, so I've probably seen a bulk of it, but don't remember what seasons they were season they were a part of. And no, there was no real decline. If anything, the show kept growing for the first 4 seasons.
I saw more recent episodes, and then I went back to watch season 1, and like I quite enjoyed the more recent episodes a lot more than season 1.
Yeah, because they were still figuring out like how far they can go with their like meta humor, what they want to do with their characters, which are like far more fleshed, not really fleshed out, but like far more relatable now. They have to deal with actual issues from time to time. But it also is just way funnier because they like to go off the rails and are aware of what the show is and how.
Shout outs to the video game episode.
Yeah.
No one talks about that.
Let's just hope that any hypothetical TV movie doesn't end up in production trouble and then get dumped onto Netflix.
Oh no. When would that ever happen?
I would be happy to have it on Netflix.
Oh yeah, same.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so all that is a funny show.
I'm so funny.
But is it?
That clip. Oh god. So there was another clip of all that with the new cast members, and it's a clip. It's, I think did we decide it was a parody of something? The title is like it's like a word salad. Let me find the actual title. You guys keep talking.
It's either a parody or some sort of promotional music video, but anyway, the reason why it's important is because they basically unveiled all of the kids that are going to be in the All That reboot cast. And they're singing this song, they keep talking about how funny they are, and some of them are dressing up in costumes like Eleven from Stranger Things and Beyonce.
Whoa, what?
And there's no background.
Oh.
Background is a color.
Green screen, yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Oh, well then you didn't prepare for this podcast. We
I'm
also
sorry.
didn't link it to you.
Yeah,
So
you didn't.
here you go. I'm going to send it to you. Let's get some live Cosmodore reactions.
Yeah. Then again, I've never seen all that, so I just assumed it wouldn't be addressed to me necessarily. I don't have any comparison, that's all I'm saying.
Nothing says funny like Groucho Marx glasses.
Funny parody. Funny and exclamation marks.
So yeah, the title is Funny, in quotes, parody, music video, feat, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, and more, all that.
Right, here we go.
Go for it, Cosmo. Have some reactions.
That's a sick beat.
You can tell that they're trying to tease people into clicking, because they don't say, like, they say Ariana Grande and Beyonce in the title. They don't really make it clear that it's not, like, not them.
Yeah.
What song is this based on?
That's what we're trying to... I don't think it's based on any. I think it's a parody, and only in the sense that they parody celebrities in it.
Right.
But it sounds like it's supposed to be a take on a modern song, but I, for the life of you, could not tell what it is.
Oh, there's 11. Is that what the show is like? Oh, there's Ariana.
No, this is not at all what the show is usually like.
Okay.
They might do music video parodies if they run out of ideas.
Yeah.
Like Bill Nye the Science Guy style.
Oh, there's the twerking grandma. There's the floss.
Yep. Did you get to Obama yet?
Yeah.
Why is the kid Obama?
Get it? Because it's the president
It's not a
Except
president,
not
though.
The former president.
Right. Well, they can't parody Trump.
President at heart. That's what it is.
Yeah, so that has 593 dislikes and 1,000 likes. And yeah, I mean, the kids seem fine. Like, I don't think it's a problem with the kids. They seem to know how to act, at least.
Yeah.
From what I can get of this clip, like, I absolutely don't want it to seem like I'm like dumping on these kids because they seem completely fine. But whoever wrote this, whoever thought it was like, here's a terrible song about being funny, and then just random pop culture references for no reason, and that is somehow a good way to sell your show.
I mean, it's like Kids Bop in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But like the way that they frame this video is like they have 3 of the original cast members sitting in front of a table, and it's posing like the kids walk up like it's like an audition. Could you just imagine if the kid auditioned and he's just like, I'm so funny. You got it. That's it. That's what we're looking for.
Tell me why you're funny. I'm so funny.
That's it? That's all we need?
Yeah. There you go.
Viacom
You're out.
executives are looking for tell, not show.
Oh, man. It kind of reminds me of, what am I thinking of? Early Barely Political. If you remember that YouTube channel.
Oh, yo, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
The Key of Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
I went back to them recently, and they were not good.
No, they weren't. Were they ever good? Were they ever good?
No. I'm saying I went back to the old ones that I loved as a kid.
I know.
And I'm like, wow, this sounds like really poorly mixed and sung, and the jokes are like a 12-year-old wrote them.
Yeah, that's what this is, except no swears. No curse words, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, again, I can't say if I'm excited for it or not. I haven't seen the original. It looks like it's like aimed at 8 to 12-year-olds.
Cosmo, do not worry that you don't have an opinion on this, because I found someone with an opinion, all right? On the internet. I know it's hard to find people, but this person is actually relevant. Well, was at some point. His name is Drake Bell. And
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he was the star of superhero movie. I think that's his legacy. Oh, he was live action Timmy Turner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
All 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He came back. He
Coming back. We couldn't stop him. We didn't want to do us.
Yeah. Jason Alexander didn't come back for that. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But anyway, Drake Bell Instagrammed that, and I quote, "This is literally the worst thing I've seen in a long time." He's 32, by the way. The article points this out. I don't know. You wouldn't know it. But he says, you should probably wait until the audience says you're funny before saying I'm funny. Which, he's got a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also, talks about how the original cast was so much better.
And for seriousness, if you don't know, Drake was not on the original All That. He never was.
He was on Amanda's show.
Yes, if you're remembering him being in sketch comedy, it's the Amanda Show, which very similar show and the spiritual successor, and a lot funnier than All That was.
Yeah, all he's gonna be remembered for now is bullying children.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't entirely disagree with his sentiment about like this doesn't look very good, and I think he is spot on about like don't sing a song about how funny you are before you've proven that you're funny. Like that just seems like that's odd. That's like forced, I feel.
Yeah.
But his kind of like insulting that this new cast is nothing like the old cast, that's just like weird nostalgia, like and kind of like insulting kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were trying. We have no. The kids. Nothing about it screamed like this kid is a bad actor. Maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't seen them really like act yet.
Not to mention, it's not like they're dixing the old cast because they certainly have a role in this reboot.
Right. Maybe he was just upset that there's no Amanda Show reboot.
Maybe he was upset that he didn't get cast. Maybe he wanted to be one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Can you imagine 32-year-old Drake Bell on the All That reboot?
Dude, I would love it. It would be so great. It'd be like, and we got some old favorites back from All That. And also Drake Bell. Yeah, Drake has, he's got like a he hasn't had the best presence.
Yeah,
on the
he hasn't
internet.
had the best track record.
He hasn't had the
recent
best
years.
life.
Oh yeah.
He went bankrupt at a point.
Someone
yeah.
got back through being an Instagram influencer, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's what all the 32-year-olds are doing.
That's one way to make a living.
Yeah. All right. That's the news. Weird crop of news this week.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So our question of the week is from Dante
Bazea, maybe?
Dante Bazea, who wrote, "Who is your favorite celebrity voice actors?"
Oh,
And
man.
I'm pretty sure Pie Guy is going to say Will Arnett. For me, it would be Andy Samberg, Bill Murray, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jack Black. For Dante, by the way. That's what he's saying. For him,
Yeah.
it would be. Well, my first thing is that, to be honest with you, I think Will Arnett is almost like more known for his voice acting roles these days. Like, he hasn't been in a lot live action aside from the Arrested Development reboot, but he has been in The Nut Job, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lego Batman, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think he's kind of more known now currently for his animated stuff. So I love Will Arnett, but I'm not going to say him because I feel like that's cheating at this point. That'd be like saying like Tara Strong because she was in live action things at one point a long time ago.
Yeah, the last live action Will Arnett thing I saw was that Netflix show called Flaked, which is really good.
Oh God, really? I
Yeah.
thought that show was so boring, and
Really?
I love Will Arnett.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that show.
It was really lackadaisical. Anyway, Monsters, who would you say?
Well, I love like all those people you mentioned, Dante, like Andy Samberg and Samuel L. Jackson and Jack Black.
I don't love Bill Murray. I'm just
I'm not the
saying.
biggest Bill Murray fan, but regardless, like I like all those people, but from what I've noticed, most of their roles are just basically them. Like I don't remember his name exactly, but I think it's Poe from Kung Fu Panda. It's basically just Jack Black. It's not like Jack Black doing any sort of interesting impression or voice, which, you know, I don't have any problem with that. I don't know. When I look for my favorites, I look for a little bit more versatility. And with that said, mine's probably Bill Hader.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know Bill Hader, he was on SNL for a long time. He does a lot of really funny impressions. He's one of my favorite live action actors of all time. He's just super talented. He's also a bit of a film geek. And he's done quite a bit of voice work. He's been in a lot of Pixar movies. I think he was in Monsters University. He had a role, I think he was Fear in Inside Out. He helped with the voice of BB-8 in Star Wars. He's done a lot of writing and voices on South Park throughout the years. Huh. He was Flint Lockwood in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And also, to appease those of you that think I love this movie, he also had a few roles in Sausage Party. So Bill Hader would probably be my pick, but I also, if I had a second choice, it'd be like Phil Hartman, because he also did a lot of really cool voices in the 90s.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So, also on SNL. How about you, Cosmo?
I'm trying to think. I'm kind of on that Arrested Development train again because I've been watching a bunch of Mr. Show recently with Bob and David, and part of me wants to say David Cross, even though like anytime he's actually like voicing a character, like you said, he's just like voicing himself. He doesn't do like a lot of impressions or anything.
It's your favorite. You don't have to go by Monsters criteria.
That's true. Right. That's true. But I do like people being versatile. That being said, my favorite voice actor ever would probably have to be Patrick Warburton now.
Oh, that's a good choice. From his classic role in B-Movie. also Emperor's New Groove.
He also did Kronk. Like, so many good characters. We got to meet him at MomoCon, but I had another panel going on, so yeah, that was unfortunate. So yeah, either David Cross or Jason Bateman, both from Arrested Development. But there's probably another one I'm just not thinking of right now. Whenever I watch a movie or an animated movie, I pay more attention to the character, except for when it's like a voice actor I already recognize or look up and I'm like, oh yeah, that's him. I didn't even like get that impression that's that voice. So yeah, it's more about like vocal inflections you put into them, which you don't really see that often with celebrity voice actors.
Yeah.
So I gotta throw a special caveat out to a person who kind of in the same boat as Will Arnett, who is like definitely now known a lot more for his voice acting role, Mark Hamill.
That's a great one.
He's the Joker, and he's a lot of other things. Yeah, regular show. No, but yeah, he does a really good job whenever he voices anything, and I still cannot believe, like, I believe it, but I still can't imagine like Luke Skywalker's voice and the Joker's voice. I can't see it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the same person. Granted, there's like a good like 60 years between them, but. Yeah. And then on a more serious answer, oh God, I don't know. I should have probably thought through this a little more. H. John Benjamin, I mean, does he count? Was he in anything live action at any point?
Oh, yeah. He did that Arby's commercial.
Yeah. Boom. Voice of Archer, Bob's Burgers, also the Can in Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, that should count. Let's say H. John Benjamin.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
No, I'm sure there's a lot more that I don't know. I'm kind of just blanking on right now. But
oh God, oh it's hard to imitate. Oh God, that thing Bob does. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. My voice
it has a very raspy voice. It's very pleasant to listen to. I can name you a voice actor or a celebrity I want to see do less voices, which is Ryan Reynolds. Coming fresh off of that Detective Pikachu train. I think he was the worst part.
Oh boy. Hey, how about more on Bob's Burgers? How about Kristen Shaw?
That's true.
Sure.
She was yeah, she's Mabel and Louise and other voices, but she also live actions sometimes. That's a thing.
Like Last Man on Earth. That's
Last Man on Earth.
Yeah.
Flight of the Conchords.
She mostly just does her voice, but her voice is so weird and unique. I mean, I put it like in the same class as Patrick Warburton, where it's like the voice is just so unique and interesting that like I wouldn't want her to like do a voice.
Oh, Kristen Shaw's voice is way more interesting than Patrick Warburton's.
You think?
Like, well, I love him, but Kristen Shaw is insanely unique.
Patrick Warburton's is in like his unique delivery, which is like the same delivery he does for everything, where he just kind of has those weird pauses.
Yeah, it's a very Obama speech pattern.
Squeak, squeaker, squeak, squeaking.
Squeakers. Another thing he was in, I recently saw Hoodwinked 1 and 2 for the first time.
Why?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
You should make a video on that.
What happened with your life, Cosmo?
I don't have a lot going on, which is not true. I'm working on 8 videos right now, so stay tuned for those.
Does Seth MacFarlane count?
No.
I mean, he was.
I thought we were talking about good voice actors.
Oh.
Hey. Seth MacFarlane is amazing. I love Seth MacFarlane.
How so?
He talk
Please,
about versatility.
Do elaborate.
He can do. I mean, I know that like Brian is his voice, but like he can do so many different things. It's insane.
Yes, because Stewie's voice is so difficult to emulate.
Silence.
I'm just saying.
I'm not going anywhere near that.
Monsters, we're gonna have like a debate cast soon, and we're gonna argue about Full House, Seth MacFarlane,
Camp Lazlo,
Sausage Party. I'm not gonna watch Sausage Party. I'm just gonna argue against its existence for no reason. All right, well that's an answered question. What was Samuel L. Jackson voice acting in aside from Clone Wars? Or wait, no, not Clone Wars.
He wasn't even in Clone Wars.
That's right. What am I thinking? What has he voice acted in?
I am looking it up.
Me too.
Okay. I also, Dante, I would like to know what your favorite Bill Murray voice acting role is, because all I know about is god awful Garfield,
Baloo.
Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, it's fine if you like either of those. I'm just saying, is there another one that I'm not thinking of that's like really good?
Samuel L. Jackson was Frozone. I forgot about that.
Oh,
Frozone.
That's true. I mean, he was Samuel L. Jackson, but he was also acting really well.
Yeah, he was.
So.
Oh, and another film I recently talked about, Turbo.
Oh.
Minor character, though.
Okay.
Apparently, Samuel L. Jackson voiced Mace Windu in the Clone Wars movie, but not the show.
Okay, yeah.
But he also voiced Afro Samurai.
Ah. Cool. All right. Moving right along. Next week, as we mentioned, we have the live cast. It's going to be Wednesday. It's most likely going to be 8 p.m. EST. But if there's any changes to that, just keep an eye on my Twitter and Monsters Twitter and the event page. We'll tweet you out if there's any time changes. But it's definitely going to be on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the Lorax.
Don't cut down trees, kids.
Let it grow, let it grow. Oh, wait, no, that's the Let It Die. Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up and die. Okay. We're going to go on our break, and we will be right back. The Stitch and I. All right. And we're back, and we are ready to talk about Stitch and a little girl who looks a lot like Lilo but isn't Lilo.
Speak for yourself, Pie Guy.
You're not.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Okay. So first, because chronologically, first comes Stitch, just titled Stitch!
Exclamation point.
Which is obnoxious.
Stitch!
It's so obnoxious because there's a movie called Stitch, and
well, Stitch the movie.
But what?
I even made a video on it where I confused the two.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me put it this way: we did a Twitter poll, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people voted for it just because they thought it was the movie.
Yeah. It's better than the movie, I will say.
Oh. Well, before we get into anything, I want to actually point out a comment because this comment kind of colors or incites some curious thing that happens at the beginning of this first episode of the Stitch anime. Tunjay723, who says, in the Japanese version, the show takes place in an alternate timeline. It's basically a what if Stitch crash landed in Japan instead of Hawaii. But in the English dub, they changed it to make the movie and the TV show take place in the same universe as this show, and that black hole in the English dub was just a space storm in the Japanese dub. So I bring this up because this first episode is basically Stitch is out in space with Jumba chasing him around, and basically Stitch winds up in a black hole, which sends him to some weird anime land, Japan. Yeah, and he meets this girl who it's Lilo and Stitch. It's just this girl has bullies, but instead of doing the Hawaiian dance, she does karate. And Stitch has to learn to be good and follow the rules. And with the added caveat that there's a stone that if he follows the rules, he can become like ruler of the universe, which that's never been his motivation in anything ever.
Yeah.
So that's the plot. In the first line of this is Jumba being like, now Stitch, no reason to be acting like a bad guy just because little girl Lilo has boyfriend now. And does not want interest in you. Like, literally, it's Jumba being like, okay, Stitch, so you've reverted to your original programming because Lilo literally doesn't care about you anymore. Because she has a boyfriend. Not like a family or a husband.
Apparently a daughter as well.
Oh, okay. Wait, did they say daughter?
That's what it said on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it said daughter.
What did they know that we don't?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed it was like a year after the original show, maybe.
It doesn't. I mean, who knows how Jumba and Stitch age?
Yeah.
But
true.
But wait a minute. Does that explanation even make sense about the Japanese dub? Because Ruben and Gantu are here. Ruben being Experiment 625. If it wasn't in the original continuity, then why would Ruben even be a part of it? He wasn't in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, the big thing is, and I don't know if this was a change according to the viewer on the recast. This is a change for the American version, but regardless, like, why would they make something have fan servicey ties to the Lilo and Stitch series, but then like only do so in a big way as to spit in the face and be like, Lilo's a horrible person and hates Stitch, and
Yeah.
Stitch literally just decided to like just go back to his original programming for no reason.
I assume that the point was for it to be localized for the Japanese market. But even then, like, Lilo and Stitch is popular enough as is. I don't really understand why you needed to make this in the first place.
Apparently, Stitch is popular. Poor Lilo, man. Lilo's
Yeah,
a
I
great
know, right?
character. Lilo is like
Lilo is the better character. She has
Maybe.
more depth to
No,
her.
her sister
Stitch
is.
is just a funny animal.
Nani is also a good character.
Yeah.
But no, they don't get to come along on any of these other adventures. Only Jumba and Pleakley are allowed, and Stitch.
Yeah.
So
And it's not even focused on Stitch fully. It's
No.
more about Yuna.
Yeah.
well, the way Toonjay describes it makes sense to me because it this literally is like a reboot of Lilo and Stitch, but with a Japanese girl.
Well, it's also very anime. Like they have like very anime-esque expressions and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very Powerpuff Girls Z.
No. Well, that's not yet. That's a few weeks from now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't spoil it.
I'll not reference it. It's very like early Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, but the art style is intentionally attempting to be like the series and the movie.
Right.
But it's also like not. It's like flappy mouth because the Japanese don't focus as much on animating the mouths. They'd rather focus on animating other things. If you didn't know, that's why like anime are able to have such cool and impressive fight scenes and action sequences is because they don't put as much value in all the mouth movements. It's also why it makes it easy to dub.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting because it is an anime, and there are certainly like anime things in it, but it looks like it's like Lilo and Stitch the series, which is weird. I don't know.
I mean, we have the same villain. We have Hamster Veal. He comes back.
Are they the villains? This episode doesn't like. It doesn't explain much because Gantu and Hamsterville and Ruben, they're at the beginning. And Jumba goes through the wormhole and also finds Pleakley. But, like, the episode doesn't set up whether or not, like, Gantu's going to be the villain again or who's going to be a villain. It's just, like, the only thing set up is, like, now, Stitch, you got to be a good boy so you can rule the universe. It's weird. This is weird. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like this.
I haven't seen it in a while, but in preparation for this, I also saw the beginning of season 3, where I remember Gantu being being there again.
Okay.
And all that season does is make them move to a different location in Japan. So I don't fully understand what the point in just like having them walk around with no real purpose whatsoever is, because like the original show at least had so much of a premise as to introduce a new monster each week.
Right.
It was a monster of the week story, but this tries to sort of have a narrative, but not to the extent that it's set up in a way that would make it feel impactful. Especially not from the first episode. I don't think the second one does that either. Like, this one just dumps all these characters onto the table.
Right. And I mean, first episodes don't have to set up literally everything, but
No,
I would
of
like
course not.
some indication. Now, the credits showed me that Jumba and Pleakley at some point make it to Stitch. Or at least that's what it seems from the credits. So, I mean, that's something, but it is just kind of like, I had to make a Planet Jumba joke. I feel like that's obligatory. Also, the voice acting, are these the same voice actors from the show? They sound very, they're either really good sound-alikes or they're the same ones.
I don't think Pleakley has the same one.
No, Pleakley's is definitely different, but Jumba and Stitch sound the
It's
same.
Ben Diskin.
Yes,
Who's
Stitch is the same.
Stitch?
Honestly, for all I care, Yuna and Lilo could have the same voice actors.
Yeah,
They don't sound that much different. They have the same personality traits.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's like, why didn't they just give Lilo and Stitch the series like more seasons and then just like export it to Japan? If Japan was clamoring for this, like, I can't imagine that the Japanese people really needed like Stitch to be in Japan.
Yeah.
Because like,
Yeah.
I mean,
English-speaking Japan.
well, this is the dub.
Yeah.
But isn't like a big part of Lilo and Stitch the Hawaiian culture? Like, well before Moana came out, it was one of the few movies that really like, I don't know, like embraced Hawaiian culture. It's how I learned about Hawaii.
Isn't Moana Indonesia? Or
it's
what else?
Polynesian.
Polynesia. That's what it was.
Well, it's a mix of that area. It's similar. Anyway,
The Pacific, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's just kind of weird to take it out of that setting. Like when you take it out of that setting, it's just another kind of like Stitch is a monster. Like what's the value, I guess? Like Stitch is cute. I like Stitch, but if it's not really like in continuity with the original, or at least doesn't reference it that much, doesn't seem to want to, then and they're changing the setting entirely, changing all the characters except for the villains, Stitch, Jumba, and Pleak. Like, what's the point? How is this not just another like alien anime show?
Yeah. I am glad like Gamma and Pleakley are playing a central role here again. We see Gantu again. Like, it has all the elements of the original show, so I'm glad it exists, that we did get more of it. But like, continuing to watch it, it's everything but somehow less. In like
I dig
none
it.
of it,
I feel that.
none of it is as strong. Like the comedy is just like basic anime, or like pre-teen anime. Like it's very childish
Kids
in its
anime.
storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Powerpuff Girls Z is a good comparison point. If anyone has seen that, you're not wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is very, yeah. Like the action in this is not good.
No, it isn't.
The one like not fight, like
Confrontation?
I don't know, karate. Yeah, like it's done in like flash frame or like just freeze frames, basically. Like it's the original Pokemon anime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they took out the violence, maybe. Like I don't know.
And there are some good kids anime, but this one is just kind of it seems low on budget.
Yeah. This does teach kids an important lesson that you can be good without a belly button. Dude, I don't know.
Very important lesson indeed.
How about the time when Stitch turned into Sonic? He was a blur.
Right. I teased me being on this podcast on my server and was like, I'm gonna talk about a certain blue friend. Sonic? I mean, you're not wrong.
I think the biggest sin this commits is that the ice cream guy appears, but his ice cream doesn't get knocked over.
Oh, yeah, right. Did you notice the title cards were in papyrus font?
No. What is the title of this? This is the Ikariga Chudi? Is this?
It translates to like when something happens, we become family.
It's trying to be Ohana, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think this is a real saying. Maybe I googled it. We thought it was Stitch, like just Stitch's language, but maybe not. I don't know. But I like the rock of like power that like monsters are drawn to or whatever. That rock is like terribly designed. It looks like it's a rock, right?
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong? I feel like this magical spiritual rock should look like something instead of just it's a rock.
Yeah. It's a rock with like a tree. That's it.
Cosmo, could you explain to me like what did Stitch get power from that? Like, what happened with that?
Oh, I don't remember, honestly. I don't think they're doing much with it. No, Stitch just exists in this universe. It's the same as the movie. Like, there's no mythical lore.
Well, he's an alien.
How Stitch came to be.
Right.
Yeah.
I
wish there was.
Yeah, I love the premise of the Lilo and Stitch, the series, because I like the idea of, like, I mean, it's basically Pokemon. Like, that's kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, personally, with how involved Stitch was in the film, and I would have just preferred to see more of Lilo and Nani. I kind of prefer the show over the movie. In like it knows what it wants to be more, rather than like have two differing plots going on at the same time. Which I'm not saying the movie was, but it would have been better had it focused on one or the other. And the show does that a lot better. Like I would still occasionally watch Lilo and Stitch episodes I haven't seen as a kid and get enjoyment out of them.
I quite enjoy the film, and I enjoy the subplot with Nani and the more adult like aspects of the movie. But I understand. But yeah, I mean, this really is like, I don't know. You're right. It does feel like here's Lilo and Stitch the series, but like slightly different, and there's not other aliens. Maybe
Did
not.
we ever find out if Lilo and Stitch the series got aired in Japan? I mean, they could have.
It did. I'm pretty sure it did.
That's a good question.
It was dubbed. No, I'm fairly certain because it. Yeah, no, because Angel, the experiment 62 something or other that Stitch's girlfriend / cousin, she's really popular in Japan. She also has a cameo in this episode as Stitch's also girlfriend when he's a conqueror. I don't understand that. Like, when has Stitch ever? I don't think that was a plot like in the movie. The plot was that like he was just like a crazy out of control alien that wanted to hijack ships and like his programming is to cause destruction. It's not like become emperor of the universe. Like that's just such a weird motivation to throw at him.
Oh man, I'm looking at the Japanese Lilo and Stitch series box sets right now, and they're man, I want to own it. It's so pretty, it's so colorful. I wouldn't assume we even got any proper one.
We'll never get through a recast without talking about DVDs. I kind of I was hoping it would be more different than Lilo and Stitch the series. Like, give it a real like anime. And from what I hear from the recast server, that there apparently is like an anime battle at some point with Hamsterville and Stitch.
Yes.
According to Levi Church, who says, I've only seen the Japanese series. I was intrigued by the premise of the series with the first 2 episodes. I thought Stitch wanting to use this magic rock to become a Super Saiyan was a fun idea, but the show falls apart pretty quickly. I don't get why they made a new cast of characters in the show that are just a copy of the old characters, but it was probably a good thing the series didn't get a proper US release because it most likely would have hurt the brand due to the series being strange and different. By the way, the show does have a Dragon Ball Z style fight at the end of season 1. So I don't know. Pretty lame, pretty underwhelming. I think underwhelming is the way to say it. I don't even think it's, at least this first episode, it's not weird enough to even be like a curiosity checkout.
Rehash?
It really, yeah, like it really is a rehash. That's really all at least the first episode is.
The rest of it too, I would say.
Okay.
There's only so much you can do with these characters. Like,
well, yeah. If Gantu is a villain in this, God, I hate that because like he wasn't a villain in the first movie. He was an antagonist working with the Galactic Federation to bring the criminal Stitch to justice. And then they had to make him like working for the bad guy in the series so he could still be the antagonist. But then he reforms at the end of that. But now here he is back. And again, if it isn't in continuity with the series, then why is Ruben there? I don't understand.
Because they knew they had something going with that. But that's like such an Americanized cartoonish sidekick that I can't even see that working in Japanese territories, to be honest. But I'm glad he's here. Like, again, there are some elements of enjoyment you can get out of this, but
I disagree.
You might as well watch the other show, you know?
Yeah, no, watch Lilo and Stitch the series.
Yeah.
But also, we watched the first episode, Hello Goodbye, I believe. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Hello Goodbye of Stitch and I. Stitch and AI. Because again, titles, yo. You know, we have Lilo and Stitch. Stitch, the movie. Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. Leroy and Stitch. Stitch, the anime. And then Stitch and I. AI, the character AI, not me. I don't get to. I wish I got to team up with Stitch. Do you guys remember when Lilo and Stitch the series had a Proud Family crossover?
Yeah.
And a Recess crossover and a Kim Possible crossover. Lilo and Stitch the series has actually had more crossovers than any other Disney Channel cartoon.
Yeah. And it's the one they fit the least with.
Oh, wait, you know what? They had an American Dragon crossover too. God damn.
Yeah, 4 of them, right? Were there 5? 4 or 5? I'm not sure.
Well, remember, and by the way, when they had these crossovers, they didn't change like anything about the art style of these other characters. So like the Proud Family is just the Proud Family art style in Lilo and Stitch Land in Hawaii. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I wanted to talk about something a little more interesting than both of these shows for a second.
Hey, remember how we talked about Stitch a few minutes ago? Why don't you take all that apply to China?
Yeah, so it begins with Stitch out in space again, being chased again, and he falls to Earth again, but this time he winds up in China and meets a little girl again.
She was dealing with her older sister again.
Oh no, and her aunt wants to move out of the mountains, but she wants to stay.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah,
that's new, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you see that clever borrowing of the original Lilo and Stitch series theme song?
Clever, yeah. Man, you know, when I picked this topic for the recast, I had no idea just how similar all this crap was. like we talk about reboots and stuff a lot, but it's like, oh god, it's rare that we have, like, we're literally comparing two rehashes to each other. We're not even comparing it to like an original. It's just, I mean, we could have done that. We could have talked about Lilo and Stitch the series or the movie. And like, that's the weird thing too, is that the series and the movie and Lilo and Stitch 2 and like, it's already kind of iterative on itself, and then these now two adaptations that are just the same thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I can say that Stitch and I at least has a different art style, and I'm not in love with it, but like, it looks all right.
Yeah,
it's different at least.
It moves very vividly, like compared to Una and Stitch is what I like to call it, in order to avoid confusion. You get some like very stiff movement, but there's some like cool animation going on here. Some of the action is kind of neat.
Right, there is actually action. I can say that about Stitch and I.
Yeah.
So, and also Stitch and I feels like it sets up something a little greater in the. So basically, so Stitch crashes to Earth. He has Chinese puberty. He sounds Chinese now for some reason. Am I the only one who noticed that his voice like changed when he fell?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't understand. But anyway, you know, he meets this girl, and basically he wants to go to a temple for reasons. I guess it's explained in another episode. I don't know. Anyway, they like, you know, tour around the place. Stitch helps her be impulsive like she wants to be, but she's being told not to be. And then these two factions of aliens, at least it's not Gantu. At least it's not Gantu and Hamsterville. But these two factions of aliens are both hunting Stitch, and Stitch and I get caught up in it. And, you know, there's light action. Very light action. But how about Stitch's sick scream at the beginning of this, where he just like annihilates their guns fall apart, their helmets break, and like the spaceship windows break. That's
they should be dead.
Pretty OP. Yeah.
They have no connection to oxygen of any form. Like they take like 10 seconds to put their helmets back on and are just like, get him, please. But you should be dead. You should not be able to like, either you should need this helmet or drop dead. Show's over.
Did you guys like the cameo from Perry the Space Platypus?
Yeah.
One of the factions are like platypus based.
Their designs are so bland.
The platypi guys.
Yeah, their designs are pretty bland. I'll be honest.
The other aliens were super ugly.
Yeah. This is not a great episode to set up this world, honestly.
Well, at least there's like a clear antagonist, maybe. But you're right. I mean, the setup we get is mostly just Lilo and Stitch. Like,
I mean, there was the rival girl. She was I thought she was super annoying.
Myrtle?
She didn't even seem like a rival. I was like, I will miss you when you're gone. Like a second earlier, she was just the meanest, the meanest to I, and after that, oh yeah, I'll miss you too. So like, there's no conflict.
Aye.
Oh. Good job, PieGuy.
Thank you.
Did you notice how the theme song ended with that Rugrats bar?
I didn't.
Like the very last chord is like a ba. Every time I listen to it.
I think Rugrats should get an anime.
No. Please don't.
Super fighting babies.
Aw.
Um,
It's really hard to like. Unlike Stitch the anime, I haven't seen much of the show. Mainly because it's really hard to find.
Well, okay. Hey, can we talk about the fact that it was on Disney Now, literally up till last week when we were gonna do this?
Wow.
Shark Tale or some other show movie was on Netflix like for years, and then as soon as we were like, we're gonna talk about this on the recast, and I say, oh, it's on Netflix, it disappeared. Same thing happened with Stitch and I. You can, if you Google Stitch and I, you'll see a Disney Now link, but it's a dead link now.
Yeah, we're cursed.
Yeah, whenever I made my video, it wasn't on any more or less legal streaming site. It wasn't on Disney Now. It was nowhere. It was nowhere to be found, save for like 2 episodes on YouTube.
Maybe it'll be on Disney Plus. Well, because one of the interesting things about Stitch and I is that it was made in English.
Yeah, it was.
This is not a dub. This is just English. As I understand it, the Queen's language. Oh boy,
it's a more interesting show to talk about because I'm more interested in knowing why a third Lilo and Stitch show was made rather than why a second one was made. Not just with it being a successor to any of them, but just a beat by beat rehash for a second time, just for another Asian territory.
You have to imagine that it would have been easier to like Photoshop edit Lilo to look like just a different little girl, and then just like change the backgrounds from Hawaii to China and Japan.
Yeah, you know SpongeBob in Chinese or whatever the video's called. Just do that.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like you didn't have to make a whole new show. You could have just made minor edits and like called it a day and been like, boom, here's for the Eastern market.
Yeah. They must have known how profitable Lilo and Stitch would still be in 2017 or whenever the show first aired.
Yeah, this show's a lot more recent. Stitch is from like 2009.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Somehow this show feels older. Like it's very limited animation still. Like I know I kind of praised the action, but you can tell where they cut corners.
I don't know that I've ever seen a Chinese animated series, to be honest with you. Is this like, what's the standard on this? That's the thing. Like I have kind of a standard for anime and like why certain things are like the way they are and with dubs and all that. But with Chinese animated shows, like, dude, I don't know. I don't have a standard. Is this good? Maybe this is good animation for them. Maybe it's bad. I don't.
Yeah. There was like a weird wobble effect that the characters had that kind of bothered me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can tell they just moved them from point A to point B.
Yeah. There was some digital hackery.
Oh, it's all digital. Like
made in Toon
very
Boom.
much feels like a focus group show. Like, oh guys, we have this existing show. We need to turn it into China. What do we do? Just replace all the characters. Just from over there to over there. She's mean. Yeah, the facial movements are very weird here. Like they constantly look either angry or sad. It's another thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Ice Cream Guy makes another cameo, but it's actually an alien in disguise. But his ice cream does fall. So I would say that makes Stitch and I just empirically better than Stitch.
Right.
For one minor running gag.
That's not minor.
Well, within the episode. Well, it's not minor because it's in like all 3 movies and then like a 65 episode cartoon and then at least referenced in Stitch.
Yeah.
That ice cream dude is the original Cabbage merchant.
True. Yeah.
So Ai's character flaw and her like or at least her conflict is that she wants to be more free-spirited and rebellious. Who does that sound like? But her like snooty aunt wants her to be like well-behaved, and she's kind of struggling with figuring out which one of those things to be. Which that's at least mildly interesting. At least they gave her something to do. What the other girl? What's her name? Yuna
from the anime?
Yeah, Yuna.
Yeah. What's her deal again? Like she doesn't have a dad or something? Is that her character flaw?
She really likes karate.
No, she has a dad. He's like off and away doing something.
Well, that's just what they told her. Oof.
She's with her grandma.
Did Jumbo like program a gene inside Stitch that's like, all right, well, listen, you're like magnetized to little girls who don't have parents. Like,
I don't know how to feel about that one.
I'm surprised they didn't have like an Ohana thing.
Oh yeah, maybe that's not as prevalent in China. Maybe
A keyword.
what one child policy and everything.
Oh.
And Stitch, Confucius said this.
Ohana means one child for everyone.
God.
And if you do that, nobody will be left behind or forgotten.
That's the lost Stitch and I episode. I keep wanting to say Ein Stitch.
Well, hey, we can say that Stitch and I does have a Lilo cameo
What? How?
in the very beginning, the flashback. Split second.
Oh, yeah, that was really weird. Like
Yes.
that weird flashback and forward sequence.
Yeah,
That
It
really
lasted a
confused
long
me.
time too.
right. Well, there's something going on that we're not like privy to because Stitch, we don't know why Stitch is in space, why he's being hunted by these two factions, why he has a vision to go to a temple in China. Like, did Stitch just like look out where he landed, or did he plan that? Like, why?
Right. Yeah. Maybe he got like tasked to go there by Jumba. I don't know.
Maybe.
I haven't seen enough of the show. And why would he know about Lilo?
At least she's there in a split second. But also, Stitch, the first episode, has a cameo by Mickey Mouse Pants.
What?
Mickey Mouse's pants in the when Stitch is getting in the black hole, his pants are there. It's a sick Disney Easter egg.
And a cow.
Oh yeah. Those are what I
The
have
cow
for.
from Home on the Range.
Good.
Okay, so which one do you prefer?
I would.
I
think yeah. I mean, this is a tough choice because they're both just not that interesting. Neither of these shows made me say like, man, I want to know what happens. Like, I don't know. Like, there's open-ended things in both of these, but in both of them, I'm like, maybe I'll look that up on Wikipedia sometime. Like, none of it was like, man, I want to watch the next episode. Even the promise of like a Saiyan fight between Hamsterville and Stitch just does not excite me with the animation that this Stitch has. But honestly, I would probably say Stitch and I. Now, it is worse in the sense that it's just like a rehash on top of another rehash, but at least I feel like it's slightly more different than Stitch. It also seems to maybe be like a little more connected continuity wise with Lilo flashbacks. The animation, I prefer it. It isn't the greatest animation, but at least it's a different style rather than kind of looking like a lazier version of Lilo and Stitch the series. And I mean, part of that's also probably because it's not a dub, so like the lips do match a lot better than the other one. But yeah, no, I think Stitch and I wins out by just like a little bit. Cosmo?
I would agree with you had I not watched like another 4 or so episodes of Stitch and I. Because yeah.
Man, you do your research for these. We don't ask that of you. We didn't tell you to do that. You did that. No, I mean you can. We didn't subject you to make you watch multiple episodes of Planet Sheen either. You did that on your own.
Oh yeah, I did. Didn't I?
I'm just saying the recast is not liable for any extra viewing damages that may have occurred to you.
Okay. I just want to feel like I know what I'm talking about, which I clearly still don't.
Continue your thought though.
I just know what happens like to the animation that is kind of superior to the Stitch anime in this episode, which like you see those green screen explosions on there. You see those weird facial movements that are going on, and it's like at some point just as stiff. Like this is a good or like not that mediocre first episode, but like the rest of it is like it goes places, you know.
Stitch and I or Stitch?
Stitch and I. The Stitch anime stays pretty much the same. This one I will say stays more true to Chinese culture. Like I don't know that much about it, but it feels like there's like some actual lore going on that Chinese viewers or like from other territories would resonate. They would resonate more with them than us three. I don't feel that way about Yuna and Stitch. Like it feels more like a focus group Japanese inspired show. Like, it doesn't even really feel like an anime. It's very simplistic, is what I'm saying. But then again, I get more enjoyment out of the Stitch anime somehow. Stitch and I just kind of feels like a show aimed at younger viewers, more so than the Stitch anime, which already is that. I wouldn't watch either of these, but if I were to choose one, I think it would be the Stitch anime, but only by a small margin.
Okay. How about you, Monsters?
Well, I'll preface my thoughts by saying I don't really have too much of a deep connection with the Lilo and Stitch franchise at all, really. Like, I've seen the first movie, and I've seen a little bit of the series, but, you know, this happened well over a decade ago. I'll pick Stitch the anime. I wasn't really a big fan of either, as we've echoed throughout the conversation. But, I don't know. Stitch and I found it... I mean, both shows are fairly inoffensive, but Stitch and I don't know, some aspects of it annoyed me, like the animation, and like Cosmo said, it is very clearly geared towards, a much younger audience, and I felt it was a little bit more slower paced. With the anime, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I thought the art was better. I thought Yuna was at least a little bit likable. I didn't really find anything too compelling about Ai. I thought Jumbo was kind of annoying, but, and like a little bit obnoxious, but, you know, besides that, the anime was okay. It was tolerable for me.
Aside from everything else, it just really, really bothers me, like that opening, that they tie it to saying, like, Lilo doesn't care about you anymore. I find that more openly insulting than anything else.
That's fair.
You know, to include it, it's honestly better to just not even include it and just, like, leave it a question of whether this connects to the other show or not, rather than being, like, the main character, like the second main character of the franchise, who, like, her whole story through Lilo and Stitch and Lilo and Stitch 2, like, it's tested again, like, to say that she just doesn't care about Stitch because she has a family, like, that's literally Ohana is nobody gets left behind or forgotten. I don't know. It's just such a slap for what was probably just, like, a stupid throw it in moment for the dub. I don't know. But that's just me. I don't like either of these, so your takes are completely fair.
All right.
Over on the Twitter poll, I asked which Lilo and Stitch spinoff had the better first episode, and a lot of people, I think some people seem to think that I was talking about the Stitch movie, even though, you know, maybe, like, read what I wrote, please. And there's also not an easy way to not make this confusing, thanks to the way these things are titled.
Yeah.
So it was 79% for the Stitch anime and 21% for Stitch and I. But again, I think that was a little skewed. I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised, but I know at least a few people voted just based on that. So
yeah, I'm surprised that 200 people have seen either.
Right. I think someone suggested that I should add, like, haven't seen as a third poll option, and I think I'm going to try to do that in the future. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, I was thinking of adding the original Lilo and Stitch on the poll, but I feel like everyone would have picked that, Lilo and Stitch the series. I think, listen, for what it's worth, I mean, I really love Lilo and Stitch the movie, and I think Lilo and Stitch the series is probably my favorite, like, Disney adaptation to series. I think that it was handled very well and has a very interesting premise, as opposed to, like, I don't know, like Hercules or the Little Mermaid or whatever, where it's just like, here's just more of their adventures. Like, remember when Hercules and Aladdin had a crossover?
No,
I don't.
They did.
Cool.
Arabian Nights and Ancient Greece are the same time period, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think, like, Jafar dies, and then what's his face? The evil dude, Hades, like, resurrects him, and it's like, yo, let's go get revenge on on the heroes.
I'm too young for either of these. I haven't seen any
love
of
Hercules.
I mean, I saw it in reruns. I think it was older than, yeah. But, you know, if you ever want to hear about some wild crossovers, check out, like, the phase when Disney was adapting all of their movies into series.
They used to be on Toon Disney all the time. Like, I remember they had a 2D Buzz Lightyear series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
That's a good one.
They had a drug episode.
Yeah.
It got banned. Okay. So I mentioned a few viewer comments already. So, Monsters, I believe you have trivia for us?
I sure do.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So, in just the general theme of Disney, I decided that we're going to be playing real or fake Disney Channel original movies. So, I'm going to give you a title. You'd be surprised at how many Disney Channel original movies have really weird names. So, I'm going to list off a DCOM title, and you're going to tell me if it's real or fake. Pie Guy's going to go first, and then Cosmo. Okay. There's 5 prompts.
Cool. Okay.
All right. Prompt number 1. Stepsister from Planet Weird.
Real.
All right, Cosmo?
Real.
That's correct. It's real.
Is that Xenon?
No, that's different from Xenon. Or Xenon the sequel. This is from...
Or Z3.
Yeah. Stepsister from Planet Weird is from the year 2000, and the synopsis from IMDb is, a teenager's life is disrupted when her mother falls in love with an alien.
Cool.
That's racist.
So you guys both get a point for that one. Woo! Moving on to prompt number 2. Moving farmside. And it's like moo cow, moving farmside.
Just those 2 words?
Yes.
Real.
Real? Okay. Cosmo?
Fake.
Cosmo's correct, it's fake.
Wasn't there a DCOM about cows?
Well, there's Cowbells. That's the one with Allie and
Darn
AJ.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I should say that the fake ones that are in here aren't referencing anything else. They're just stuff that I came up with on the top. They're not meant to be like misleading. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Cosmo has 2 points. Pie Guy is at 1. Prompt number 3. Phantom of the Megaplex.
Real?
Real? Okay. And Cosmo?
I'm gonna say fake.
I know this one's real, but I decided to say it like that to try to fool Cosmo.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
All right, so you guys are tied at 2.
Yeah, I was aware of the term megaplex, but I was associating it with something else.
It's exactly what you think it is. It's a Phantom of the Opera adaptation, but with like totally radical kids from the 2000s.
Yeah, it's also from the year 2000, and the IMDb synopsis is this is actually from Wikipedia, with a title and concept very loosely based on the Phantom of the Opera. This film concerns strange happenings at a monstrous megaplex on the night of a major movie premiere gala, Midnight Mayhem.
I've seen it, and from what I remember, it's just a bunch of kids running around in a movie theater. Like, that's the whole movie, basically.
Wow, so... Oh, yeah, no, so it didn't air in cinema. I was just about to say,
no.
You can go to the cinema to watch kids in cinema. So meta.
All right, you guys are tied at 2 each. All right, prompt number 4. Double teamed.
Fake.
Fake? Okay, Cosmo?
Faked as well.
Well, you guys are incorrect because it's actually a real movie.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's from 2002. And
soccer?
No, it's basketball. It says 2 sisters become world famous basketball players.
Okay.
I picked the title because it sounds like it could be raunchy. All right, you guys are still tied at 2.
Hey, remember the movie where the kid gets a lucky 4-leaf clover and he finds out he's a leprechaun?
Oh, yeah. The Luck of the Irish.
Man, DCOMs have like a very special, dark, sad place in like the back of my brain.
Remember how his mom was like a leprechaun, but she was like 2 inches tall?
Well, what was that one called where it turns out he was a mermaid or turned into one?
H2... Oh, no. H2O is the Nick show.
Yeah, that's the Australian Nick show.
Brutal most talked about it once.
Let's not forget about Life is Rough with Kyle Massey.
Yeah. Cosmo, is the movie you were thinking of called The 13th Year?
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Right, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would have never thought of that. That's a weird title for that.
The only one I remember Brutal Moose talking about was Smart House.
Oh, I
yeah,
love Smart
yeah,
House.
same.
With what's her face? Leela.
Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal.
And it was directed by LeVar Burton.
Huh.
All right, so now we're at the final prompt. You guys are still tied at 2. And the movie title is Pointing to Paradise Cove. Pie Guy, is it real or fake?
We're tied?
Yes.
Pointing to Paradise Cove. Fake.
Okay, and Cosmo?
Oh, man. It is fake.
That's correct. It's fake. All right.
Woo!
Well, I guess you guys are both coming up on top, both with 2 points.
Only 2 points?
Yes.
Thought it was 3.
Wait.
2 out of
what
5.
are you talking about? Hang on. What were the prompts
I'm
again?
sorry. You guys just got the last one correct. So that is 3 out of 5.
All right. And Monsters is pretty good at making these fake decom titles. They should hire you.
Yeah.
If you wanted to throw us off, you could have called one like the 14th year.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Just
true.
to mess with us.
I'm not evil like PieGuy is. That's a PieGuy move.
Yeah, I would have gone like Z4, the
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 sequel.
Z-Quad.
the Zeppalog.
Oh yeah. All right. The second one was the sequel, wasn't it?
Yep.
The NyQuil.
Do you guys remember? I think it was Z3. Like hit a bunch of Z's everywhere, and there was a competition. Okay, well maybe I'm showing my age because this was on the first airing, I guess. But there was like a competition to see if you could spot all the Z's.
Oh,
like
Creature
like
of the
the-
Krusty Krab.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
you collect Z points there.
Oh, right. Oh god, that game is bad. But
No, it is.
Oh. All right,
Shush.
debate cast
Shush.
coming up.
All right. I really like that game.
Which version did you play, Cosmo?
Well, the DS one doesn't exist, so the PS2 one.
Okay, because I played the Wii one, so maybe the PS2 one's fine. The Wii one had a bunch of awful waggle stuff.
Oh yeah, no, don't play the Wii one.
Maybe. Okay. I did over on my PieGuy Plays channel 2 years ago.
That's
Okay.
a rule of thumb for any SpongeBob Wii game, honestly, or like any licensed Wii game.
I used to play Atlantis Square Panis on the Wii.
Oh god, I also streamed that once. That is a terrible game.
I've never played it. I only played the DS port.
Surprisingly, Truth or Square was pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
It was just short. What? Cosmo? Oh. We're gonna hash it out.
It recycled
Rehash
the
it out.
same music from Battle for Bikini Bottom. This game had
Yeah,
no
the best
original
music.
ideas.
What? It had the story was more original than the stinking movie it was based off of.
That's true, but that's also not hard.
Well, yeah.
I
Oh god.
don't think that's
All
a
right.
fair point.
All right, coming soon, a 3-hour-long video where Cosmo and I discuss each of our disagreements about SpongeBob.
I'd be down for that. Why not?
I mean,
I think that's the one thing people want, Pie Guy.
yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. Oh goodness. Well, thank you very much, Cosmo, for being on again. It's always a lot of fun.
Thanks, Cosmo.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Monsters, thank you for being here.
Thanks. I try to show up.
All right, catch us in a few years when we talk about Stitch and Wii.
I'd also like to personally apologize to Cosmo for having him on 3 recasts where we review things that are really bad.
Oh, you talk about good stuff? When did that happen?
Oh no! We only talk about bad stuff. That's. Don't tell him. You can't.
I'm happy to be the one go-to guy who would willingly watch more than the one episode you put on your list, just for the sake of the podcast.
Yeah, you're a great guest. Go and check out Cosmo's channel if you haven't. What do you got?
What's
I don't
cooking?
know why. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. What have you had released or coming up?
Too much stuff. By the time you're watching this, I might have already released a review of a certain Pixar film. There's some differing opinions on.
Ooh.
Just as a heads up, we're probably not going to talk about anything Disney related for another few months until that D Plus app comes out, because things are getting increasingly more obnoxious to find to watch. You know what I mean? Disney
Yeah.
Plus will make it all streamlined and easy. And then when Disney Plus comes out, oh baby, the recast is going to be the Dcast.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Monsters Review, and you're watching the D-Cast.
Did you see that Disney did a compilation themselves
Yeah.
of those? It's like an hour long. All right, anyway, check out Monsters' video coming out soon.
Yep.
All right, with that, PieGuyRulz out.
Bye.
Catch you guys next time.